Lincoln was born in a cabin of wood not far from Hodgenville, Kentucky. At the age of 2 months, Abraham Lincoln was taken to a nearby farm in the valley of Knob Creek. When Abraham was only 9, he moved from Kentucky to Indiana. In the raging cold of the winter, Abraham's mother tragically passed away. But not later, his dad brought home his stepmom who had 3 kids of her own but still had lots of love to give to Abe. Growing up, Lincoln wanted to pursue his dreams of being a politician. But when he ran for politics in 1832, he lost severely. This made him revert his attentions to becoming a lawyer. In 1834, Lincoln ran again for the state legislature as a member of the Whig Party, and with this, he won. After leaving and rejoining politics a couple more times, Lincoln lost in 1856, which made him abandon the Whig Party and join the Republican Party, and with the Republicans, he would later be elected the 16th President of USA. Lincoln had the strength to adhere to the fundamental goal. During the summer of 1864, said Kearns Goodwin, the North wasn't doing very well in the war. Most of his smartest advisors came to him and asked him to lay back on abolishing slavery, but he refused and stood still on his fundamental goals. Abraham knew how to relax and replenish. Lincoln understood the importance of relaxation and humor to replenish himself for the next day. According to a biographer, Kearns Goodwin, Lincoln was very humorous and loved to both listen and tell funny stories. He encouraged a healthy atmosphere of laughter and fun in his administration. He also kept his friends close and often used to go to the theaters with them. He was aware of his own weaknesses. Kearns Goodwin mentioned that one of his weaknesses was a tendency to give people too many chances, but because he was aware, he was able to compensate for that weakness. As an example, she stated that George McClellan, who was the commander-in-chief of the Union Army, ignored his instructions about the war effort. Lincoln gave him 2 chances and also set him a deadline, which he later failed and led to him being removed from his position. Lincoln was ready to share the blame for failure. Whenever anybody used to make a mistake, Abe would never just stand there. He would always share the blame. When contracts raised serious questions about a cabinet member, Lincoln clearly stated that it was him and his party to blame. Just like Nelson Mandela, Abe had great courage and helped many of his comrades move beyond fear in many situations. Many have said that he was the strongest man they've ever known and has been known to lift his own weight. But he wasn't just strong. Abe showed that he had courage. Once in Springfield, the Irish voters took charge of the voting polls. They wouldn't let anybody vote except for the people who supported the same party as them. Mr. Lincoln got an axe from the local store. He went alone to fix the situation. His appearance intimidated them. And later that day, his people said that we did not get any more problems from the Irish. In this situation, he showed similar courage to Mandela when the plane's engine failed. Both of these leaders did this to help their people get through the hardships. Similar to Mandela, Lincoln always led by being led. When there was a mistake, he would always take responsibility for them, and when there was a success, he would share credit with everybody. This not only showed Lincoln's honesty and integrity, but also made his comrades think that they were, in many ways, doing the leading, not Lincoln. This made them feel good about their jobs. It also motivated them to take more risks, knowing that Lincoln would not blame them if they did mess up. Lincoln would also listen to his advisors with great respect. He would not disregard anything they say unless it was clearly false. Just like how Mandela used to have meetings in his kitchen and he would acknowledge what everybody would say. I possess many leadership qualities, but the ones that stand out most are creativity and responsibility. When I'm a leader, I'm always able to think outside the provided information. This helped me in many situations, especially when my group is stuck on some issue. For example, in grade 7, we had a brain teaser to complete. It was when a car is making a turn, are its front wheels parallel to each other? Many people were thinking yes because they have to, or else the car would not turn properly. But my group ended up winning because I thought of the solution, which was the front wheels are not parallel because both of the wheels have a common circle which they rotate to. If they were parallel, then the car would be drifting. I'm a very responsible person in terms of taking the blame and sharing the credit. Just like Lincoln, I never blame the mistakes on anybody, and whenever we succeed in something, I always share the credit. One time in math class, we had a group assignment to solve the mean score per game of 7 players. This was in grade 6. We were stuck for 30 minutes, and at the end of the 40 minutes which we were given, I was able to remember how to do this question. I got the answer right. Everybody was telling my team that I carried them, in which meaning that they did nothing and I did all of it, but I argued and I told them that they contributed a lot to our success.